All right, guys, it's the big one. The final match of the pay-per-view. Moxley versus Adam Page in a Texas death match for Moxley's title. I didn't want a Texas death match, so I didn't pay much attention. But
You were half asleep, and also because all the blood and stuff.
yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I was doing something on my tablet. But anyway, I was in and out. But anyway, Adam Page did win, and everybody went for Page for this because I think even they are realizing like everyone's sick of this Moxley crap.
All right.
Anyway, so Hangman's face theme is back apparently, and
His original theme.
yeah, and I hadn't heard it so long, I kind of forgot it existed. And Mox, oh, there was a sign. Now I did see that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, there was a sign that said, "If Mox wins, we riot." Somebody in the audience had a sign that said that. Let's see. Heyman ended up stabbing Moxley with a fork.
And that's your blood of the evening.
Then Mox ended up strangling him with some barbed wire. Maria took a bite out of Heyman's head. Oh gosh. Yuta came in, but he got punched by the barbed wire. He got punched. Yeah, he wrapped it with the barbed wire and got punched.
Yep.
And Paige leaped off the apron and he ended up slamming Marina through a table. Okay, I do remember that, but you could tell that he took most of the damage for that. Claudio and Wheeler Yuta came in and they beat Paige down. Then Ospreay came in to help. Then Gabe did a power driver on him because his goons had to be around. Onto the floor. He jammed a steel chair on Ospreay's neck that he's taking out on a stretcher. And during that point, we were thinking, so why is Ospreay out here without Swerve? Okay, so anyway, keeping going on with that, Moxley ended up suplexing Paige onto the barbed wire table, but they're both down. Then all of a sudden, Brian Danielson comes back and he hits Skeeve. Yeah, I didn't miss some of. No, I remember. Yeah, I did see this.
Yeah,
and then Claudio, and he uses little yes kicks, and then some little skinny thing came down from the rafters, and it was Darby Allin, and he used what was it?
Darby Allin came back from Mount Everest.
Yeah, it was still roll from the top. And then the Young Bucks super kicked Hangman and kicked him. They showed up and they super kicked him. And then Mox told Marina to get the briefcase. And then Nana, when she was reaching for this briefcase, Nana popped up from under the table and handcuffed her to it. And yeah. And then Swerve came in and gives chains to Hangman. And then Mox is hanging, and straight did his little hanging move, and Mox ended up tapping out. So what's interesting about this is before when Swerve and Paige were talking before all of this, he left the chain for Paige, and they ended up using it for the match. So
yeah.
Thoughts on the match? Like I said, I don't like the blood, but I'm glad Mox just lost. I wasn't. It's like I was only maybe 10% invested in whether or not who would win or lose, because I don't like these kind of matches in general. Because like I said, I don't like bloody matches. I never have, and I never will, because they overdo it sometimes, and it's a Moxley match, so
yeah.
But it was just all the shenanigans. Everybody and their mama came in there. I was like, so where's Willow? And that's something else we point out about Marina. Marina just trying to take all the hits for Moxley and stuff. So yeah, did you create some kind of storyline with that alone?
I'm gonna say what everyone else is thinking. This was AEW doing a crappy version of WrestleMania 40's ending. Think about it. How did WrestleMania 40 end? It had Cody versus Roman. Then interference, counter interference, interference, counter interference, interference, counter interference, interference, counter interference, unbeatable odds, and then he wins. Like that's literally the same thing. except the way it's so funny the way you described it because it's like a little kid describing the ending of Endgame. That's what it felt like. And then he came out, and then he did the kick, and then the girl, the meanie girl, she's in the ring, and then he gets a fork and he stabbed him, and it was all boo, and like that's what it felt like. I'm like, what is this shit? What is this shit? Just call it. Don't call it the death. Don't call it Texas Death Match.
One thing I forgot to mention is that
call it what it is. Call it. Don't call it the Texas Death Match. Call it the Yeehaw Bloody Boom Boom match. That's what it fucking should be called.
One thing I forgot to mention is that they had broken glass in the ring, and Moxley dragged Hangman across it and everything too, to add to the fun. I mean, in my opinion, I like the match though, in the sense that I'm glad that Hangman won. He's a champion. We finally get to see the briefcase opened up with the belt and everything. It came full circle for Hangman's story. People have been saying it's like a story ever since basically day one of AEW. The only thing that was pissing me off though, it was dragged out a bit too much during like the beginning, the outside interference, and it was pissing me the fuck off because they had all the build up with Swerve and all that, and all the people that wanted to help take down Moxley, fight for AEW. So they're doing all the cheating, and it goes on, and I'm like, dude, where the fuck is Swerve? Where's like Briscoe, Willow? The hell? I was getting pissed because I was like, oh, don't you dare make them like still win somehow and whatever, that kind of shit. And the thing too is that Swerve came so late to the match, and there were so many like close calls with Hangman. I'm like, dude, what if like Hangman already lost by the time your fucking ass comes out?
I don't even get me started on that dumbass Return of the Jedi ending shit. That look that he gave at the end, where he's like, and he literally took that photo and on his Twitter went, "See you around, Hangman." And I'm like, what kind of? And literally, people photoshopped him doing that face into literal things. Like they put him in the passenger seat at the Fast and the Furious part with Paul Walker. They photoshopped him to be a Jedi, the background of Return of the Jedi. I'm like, it's so true.
I like the one where they photoshopped the Street Fighter 4 stuff with the win quote, like he just won the match.
And he's like, yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say, well, you might as well just throw in the entire roster and him just doing this, and they'd be the Ewok celebrating.
I'm like, when I saw that, I was like, see, I went old school. I'm like, you did not just fucking Mr. Miyagi this shit. Like you did anything. You didn't do shit. You just stood there.
Now I'm like, he got Marina out of there.
There's a great line. Okay, so this is a little bit of a tangent. There was a thing on Busted Open Radio. This is before All In happened. And it was Bully Ray talking to I forgot the guy who's always yelling and screaming. But he basically said that no. He's on their show. I just can't remember what the hell his name is. Anyway, he said that when Hangman wins and he holds up that belt, the whole crowd is gonna pop. And Bully said, but are they going to pop? He's like, but the question I have is, are they going to pop because it's Hangman, or are they going to pop because they haven't seen the belt in over 9 months? Because if that's the answer, then it didn't have to be Hangman. It could have been anyone.
That chair over there could have won that match, and I would have been popping for it.
Because you're like, and I got into a huge hated debate. You guys saw it. I got into an argument with this asshole who's like, well, it's genius because it makes the AEW world title like the Holy Grail. By not seeing it on TV, it pisses off the fans and makes it more intriguing. I'm like, by that logic, the spinner belt would be considered the greatest belt design of all time because of how much it pissed off everyone. That's the stupidest argument I've ever heard. It's the high hachi mindset. And Mark knows what I'm talking about with Tekken. Well, I threw you off a cliff to make you stronger. I was 6. What the hell's wrong with you? That's the logic. It's like, no.
Stronger now, too.
And
Tommy,
Trump has.
you're stronger, aren't you? I prove my point. Like, it's like, no, you asshole. Like, it's that level of dumb hoops you have to push through to make that work. Again, the match was fine. A little too much cluster shenanigans going on. So I was kind of like, it was kind of more distracting than it was interesting. Because it was just like, and then he's gonna whoop, and he's gonna whoop. I'm like, no, let me finish.
And then you know what? I'm surprised they didn't bring back all the other people that's on the milk cart. Oh, it's Keith Lee. You know, they should bring back people off the milk cart to help out Adam Page or something.
Now, some people did comment though that Moxley did, a very good job selling with the whole choking and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean,
it's hard to notice because you're in the moment. You're like, oh my god, what the But when you actually see, he was sitting on the apron the whole time. He was no real danger of actually getting choked. He was sitting on the thing, but you're watching his movement.
He probably like being choked. You know he probably like he probably like being choked.
You know what's funny, Wendy? You know what's really funny when you said that? I was literally thinking. There's a scene in a later episode of Family Guy. I was thinking that when I was watching that, where it was Quagmire and he was like beating up his sister's boyfriend, and like he choked him out and thought he killed him, and then like he sneaks into his car and runs him down. He's like, I choked myself harder than that, you son of a bitch, and hits him with the car. Like, that's what I was thinking Moxley was gonna do.
Oh god. One thing I do want to add in the scrum, I didn't want to say it earlier because not to spoil it, whatever. But whenever Tony picked up Renee and took her to the back, someone was like, "Oh man, Mox lost the title and his girl on the same night."
It's true. Anyway, but no, I think it was just a little overboard. I mean, I know it's the biggest show of the year, but you can't have. Actually, let me look this up real quick before you go ahead, Johnny. I just had to look up something real quick.
Oh, well, I'm just gonna make it real quick because I personally, didn't care too much about the match just because John Moxley's in it, and the match, as you could expect, was extremely bloody. It was too long. It's like, damn, I just want this shit to be over with. Because I'm sorry, guys, for pay-per-view. After that, it's like you want that shit to be done already.
Because I just looked it up right now, and it's on the Wikipedia page. Just the Okada and Kenny match and the Hangman Moxley match combined is an hour and 5 minutes.
Oh my god! Because like what Johnny was saying, it just went on too long. I was like, oh my god, well just hurry up and end so I can go and play my Final Fantasy 14 stuff. I wanted to hear the Shadow Bringers intro in full, and I wanted to show him the whole, the little cinematics that go with it. Because it's like, oh, there was like a cool part of the game, and you're like in both worlds, and it's like.
But like I said, I was just like, there's a lot. Ironic in this match, but there's a lot you could have cut out of this match. Not with a fork, but actually cut out of this match.
Wait,
like actually
either, right?
That was a pizza slice.
And I felt like the match was going too long because I don't know if it was like this when it was taped live, because I watched it on repeat because I was working the day of the pay-per-view. So I had to watch it like the day after. 2 days actually. I watched like half and half because it was like this thing is too long. But anyways, going back to it, I did notice that towards the end, the final parts of the match, I felt like the footage felt a little like fast forward, like whenever the time compression's like okay, this shouldn't end already, I guess. So I'm kind of getting the impression that it's getting too long when the final parts of the pay-per-view look like it's going a little bit on the fast forward speed mode. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I did notice that.
No, it did. It felt. I know what you mean. You mean like how the spots just kept going. It's kind of like, all right, move it. Come on, we gotta hurry. Yeah,
we're only here for 15 more minutes, or we gotta pay extra for the lease.
Yeah,
it's like spot.
It'll be like Steve. We had to cut him off. It's a little speech here.
It felt like it felt like being in working at a trampoline park. You go, all right, kids, you got 5 more minutes. Jump as much as you can. All right, let's get this going. Come on, come on, come on.
But kind of like the footage,
Jump your butts on out of here.
but it's actually like the footage, like they actually did speed up the.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it felt a little speed up, at least when I saw it.
How?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we saw it live.
The connection was crappy.
Maybe it was the rerun. Who knows? But
Yeah,
overall, I would say
it looked a little like everything's moving too fast, and the referees do that. It's like, yeah, they just want that shit down.
I will say from A to Z about this show. Overall, I'd give it maybe a C plus. No, B plus. I'd give it a B plus. But everyone that's going, it's the perfect show. No, it's not. Shut up. It's not. Everyone that's going, it's the greatest of all shows they've ever had. And then I'm like, okay, first of all, Mark and I remember a couple years back when they did a WrestleMania that was 8 hours long. You remember? And that was a chore. This show, including the pre-show, is 8 hours long. So don't give me this shit. No. Just be a mark and be a mark. But don't tell me it's the greatest thing ever. Legitimately, one of the things that I like, I have the mentality of like, one of the things that I'm really appreciative that WWE is doing, and I wish AEW would do this a little more, because they have the potential. Obviously, they got the talent, they got the in-ring work. Obviously, it's like you have to ask yourself this question: would you rather have a ton of spot matches, like a couple spots, or would you rather have like 3 or 4 or 5 like really good paced, well structured matches from A to Z? Because for me, I'd rather have the latter, but that's me. And a lot of people are like, no, I want more for my buck. And I'm like, okay, so in my mind, it's like,
okay, bro, we need the spots, bro.
Yeah,
you got
I'm sitting here thinking, to me, it's the equivalent of to me, it's the equivalent of would you rather have a really good fine dining experience of like a 5-course meal, or would you rather have a buffet? It's like you're gonna get a lot of food regardless, but it's still the point of like, do you really want to have egg rolls on top of your pasta on top of your ice cream at the same time? Like, at that point, you maybe should fucking tone it down. That's all I'm saying.
Buffet. Would you rather have a CC's buffet or go to a real classy, Italian restaurant?
Yeah, just have like a series of meals. Like, yeah, you've been to like a place with like multiple.
If you take me to CC's.
Mm-hmm. What are you saying? What are you saying, John?
I said, Mark, it's over if you take me to CC's.
I'm saying it's like comparing going to the CC's buffet instead of one of the more fancier Italian restaurants where the menus don't have prices.
Ooh. Yeah, basically.
So you take me to what are them places?
It does feel like a cheap buffet.
Yeah. And again, it's fine if you want some food. That's fine, and you like it's like the equivalent. I like
buffets, but like
no, it's fine. But I said this to someone. You don't. There's a great line I remember that someone said no one eats McDonald's for the flavor. They eat it for the convenience. It's the same principle of it has its place. Just like how I'm not a fan of like CZW or GCW with all that death match, crazy blood shit where they have like, let's have each other smash each other with LEDs and then I'll see you at Walmart tomorrow. Okay, bye. Like, fantastic. It's just not for me. It's for a lot of people, it's not for me. But I'm also like, that to me is like fast food, whatever, cheapo burger, whatever. But I'm like, hey, I'm not going to diss you for liking it, but I am going to diss you if you compare that McDonald's cheeseburger to me eating at this fucking steakhouse I just paid $80 for.
What are you talking about? You better be taking me there.
But hey, even when it comes to fast food, I mean, McDonald's is, I'm sorry, but McDonald's just
it's
at the lowest of the low of the food chain.
I'm just saying, I'm saying like no one eats McDonald's for the flavor. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like oh, it's there. It's like shit. I got low money. All right. It's kind of like Jack in the Box. I have a Jack in the Box near my house. I eat there all the time. But I don't eat there because I'm like, I love me some Jack in the Box. I'm like, well, I don't have much money. All right, they're open.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
But on that note, my understanding of what I saw online, a lot of consensus is that the show was kind of so-so or kind of dragged or kind of felt like an episode of Dynamite until we got to the triple main events. That's when shit actually picked up and all that stuff.
And it's still kind of stupid that they have triple main events instead of a main events. I think that's silly.
Well, like what's it called? Like they used to, they New Japan used to call them double main events, but they weren't really, because it's like, but it would be because they had two big title matches or something. But like, that's, yeah, I'm like, I agree. I think I'm in the same sentiment that CM Punk said. It's like, no, there's one main event and it's the close of the show. That's why it's called the main event.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's true. It's true.
But yeah, personally, this pay-per-view, I felt like it was way too long. Even a 0 hour felt too long.
Mm-hmm.
It felt long. And then the actual pay-per-view was too long. So personally, the matches that I felt were the longest was obviously the John Moxley one, because all the John Moxley matches, for some reason, they always have to be super dragged out, like super long, super annoying, repetitive, bloody.
I really wish I could have seen, because I really think it could have been the sleeper match of the night. I really wish I could have seen Cole versus Fletcher. I think it might have had a potential to be match of the night. Possible. Not top tier, but like the match like, oh shit, like low expectations of going in and you go, oh. But like in a weird way, it was like I was expecting Mercedes and Storm to be that, and I was just like, like I said, it was more like woo than it was actual wrestling. And I'm like, damn it, you two are considered two of the best wrestlers, and I want to see wrestle.
I also felt like the Swerve. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting.
No, go ahead, Johnny.
Oh, but I also felt that the Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay match versus the Young Bucks, I felt like that match was way too long.
Yeah,
so it was
that stretched way too far. I agree.
And it was the Hangman Page match, but John Moxley, so of course that match is going to be long regardless. Those were the two of the longest match I thought that pay-per-view had, and
they were. Yeah, they actually were.
Maybe the 0 hour, maybe the Big Boom match was kind of long as well. But yeah, other than that, I mean, the pay-per-view
was fat kids in the way they have to go so long. They got to give the fat kids something to do.
Yeah, I think there could have been a lot of matches trimmed down or completely changed. I would have rather, like you said, I think the Swerve match, Swerve and Ospreay match could have been trimmed down. I think they should have got rid of. Okay, I think they should have got rid of all those matches on the pre-show and just made the battle royals. Like just have the battle royals, and then maybe get that way. That would cut out a lot of the fat and excess time in the actual show. And then you could have put the trios title match on like the upcoming Dynamite or whatever. Like that's what I would have done. Like cut some matches, cut some time spots, because there was a lot of shit that was just like, okay. Like with the Hangman Moxley match, it was more the weapons doing the work than them actually doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, at this point, you're either still grossed out by it or you're desensitized by it. And I'm at the latter.
But the thing is, Moxley always seems to find some new way to gross you out, even though you think you're used to the blood. He finds some new weapon, or he bites this or bites that, or
it grosses me out.
I don't know. That shit always grossed me out, to be honest.
Yeah, same. And I'm like, there is a place for blood in wrestling, but I do believe that there has to be a limitation on how you.
There has to be a limit.
Like, yeah, like I mean, outside of deathmatch wrestling, because that's deep indie shit. Like, there's a reason they don't do that on mainstream anymore. Like, hell, even TNA doesn't do it.
Macho bullshit.
Yeah, basically. But I really do feel, and I'll send you guys the link to watch it. I really do recommend watching Evolution. It is legitimately an amazing pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I feel like
love women's wrestling, so I'm sure I
Yeah,
recommend.
I've heard a lot of good things. Like I said, I know one person actually. Oh, this is ironic. I know someone that went to see Evolution that was there for Evolution, and I know somebody that went to
All in.
All In.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like I said, it just feels, it goes back to that thing I'm always saying over and over. It's not quality, it's not quantity, it's quality. You can have a shit ton of matches, but if they're all kind of it doesn't really matter. Like literally, I really do think Super Card of Honor, the match with Athena versus Thunder Rosa, that was a better match than the Storm versus Mercedes match.
Mhm.
Yeah, it had more back and forth. It had more storytelling. It had better spots, and it was better paced. I think the match was like a little over 15 minutes, but it didn't feel like it. It felt like a 7-minute match. Like, damn. Like they were like, I'm like, damn, these girls are quick.
Now I haven't seen Super Card of Honor, so how is that one compared to All In?
It was a lot more concise. Like the first, I want to say the first 3 matches were kind of slapped together. So it was kind of like, oh, we'll have a lucha libre match, we'll have a tag team match. Well, didn't really have any effect. But when it got to the actual titles, and that's when it started getting, oh, this is a good show. So it was kind of more like, it was kind of like the more of, it was like if you had more of the second half of All In, but at a shorter time frame. So it was a better show from that point. So it's kind of like my friend says it best when it's like, when shows are like that. He's like, it's like you got a steak and there was a little too much fat, so you just cut off the fat, and it's just like, oh, okay, but I'll just eat around it. It's kind of like that. I'm like, that's kind of how Super Card of Honor works. It's a little bit fat, but this one felt like fat, like, and then like little bitty steak. I'm like, no, I want a whole ass steak. Huh?
Heart attack. Oh gosh.
But yeah, honestly,
I wanted Chaos Emeralds, and instead I got rings. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
yeah, man, pay-per-view was so long that you really have to have a lot of time of the day to watch it in all one seating, because me personally, I had to watch it like half and half.
It's
I couldn't.
A lot of people said that to me too. A lot of people I know, they said, I watched Evolution and Saturday Night's Main Event and Great American Bash in a day. And I'm like, oh, okay. But they said they had to wait. They had to watch All In with it. They had to stretch it to 2 to 3 days because it just dragged, and they started falling asleep. And I'm like, oof.
And I'm always
Okay.
guilty of these AEW pay-per-views because they do run too long. And it does, you have your slow points too. And especially if it's a match you just don't give a crap about. And then that doesn't help either. So it's like it's a whole doggone work day to sit down and watch an AEW pay-per-view. I just wish they were shorter, or they just didn't do 0 hours.
And I say this with sincerity when I say this, and I mean no ill will towards the talent of AEW as far as the wrestlers, with the exception of the Costco guys, because they're not wrestlers, fuck them. But with the exception of them, all the actual wrestlers, I have 0 problems with them, and they're like, okay, cool, more power to you, whatever.
They're just there to do their job.
They're just there, and they're doing their best. But it always goes back to the same thing I'm always saying. It's not what you do, it's how you're presented. And if you're presented poorly, that's how it's going to come off. And the sad truth of it is they present these top tier talent as if it's like, So I'm like, give me a reason to watch. That's all I ask. Give me a reason to be invested. Give me a reason to care, and pay off that care. It's like a movie trailer. You've got to set up the movie to be as satisfying as the trailer is. And when you see the movie and it sucks, you get pissed off because you got lied to. It's the same thing. It's all like you go in expecting to see a horror movie, and then you get Titanic, and you're like, God damn it.
It is horrifying imagining being on a ship sinking. How's that?
No.
Okay, how about you got a killer on the ship coming after you? Okay, wait, I'm just making up my own
Yeah. Anyway, but my point. That's my point. Is that it's you have to get it right. You have to get the proper way to do it right. There are ways that they're presenting certain talent better than others. And then they have so much good talent that they're not even putting on television or they're leaving them at home. Where the hell is I had this whole argument with someone when they were trying to give me shit. They're like, really? They're going to have Jelly Roll wrestle at SummerSlam? That's going to ruin wrestling. I'm like, okay, what's more damaging to wrestling? Jelly Roll doing a one-off tag team match or a contracted internet meme family? Contracted. While explain to me as a wrestling fan why the Costco guy has to be on TV every single week with his stupid family and Keith Lee has to stay at home.
Because Keith Lee doesn't have to.
And you have two fat kids.
He is two fat kids. No,
Oh no, okay,
he's two fat kids in a trench coat.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night, everyone. We apologize to the heavier set fans at watching at home if you're still awake, because again, America's cure for insomnia, you know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Except for Johnny there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Johnny's there because, you know, we're all kind of heavy set. Johnny's there as the, you know, slender representation so they don't feel like excluded. You know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, it wraps it up for this episode. I think we all kind of said our piece. The consensus was that it dragged at the beginning. It got better with the three main events, and also it was just too damn long. But yeah, you could let's see also who won the thing. I forgot before we leave.
All right, so the winners is a tie. It's a tie.
Oh.
It's not often this happens, but there's a tie for winners. It's a tie with 8 points each. Me and you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, weird, huh? Okay, next after that would be William with 6 points. Next would be Johnny with 5. And then next tied for last is DJF and Jack.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know what their punishment has to be.
We watched this again.
Oh, no. They have to rewatch the whole... No. I got it. They have to watch the boom match or repeat for an hour.
No. They have to watch a DVD that collects all the Moxley main events into one DVD set.
No.
Just the dark.
Plus every single boom match.
Does it come with a fork to kill myself?
No, you are not allowed to have the forks. Only Moxley can have a fork.
Okay, but that's the thing. So you and DJF will get a copy of AJ Boom's greatest hits. Every match they've had so far compiled in a Blu-ray set or something. Or even the Ultra HD, so you could catch every fiber of the boom. You know, you could.
Yeah, I do find them annoying, honestly. But you know, what can you do?
Yeah, I know.
But they give them too much time.
Funnier punishment. You guys will act out like what's his name, Kyle O'Reilly. You'll walk alongside them in the ring.
No.
We have to draw the line, man. Gotta draw the line somewhere.
No, right. So, anyways, guys, this is America's #1 cure for insomnia, the Diving Cutter Wrestling Podcast. If you're feeling the shakes, if you're feeling sleeping deprivation, if you got, if you
withdrawal syndrome or something.
No, but if you go long enough without sleep, you start getting all shaky and jittery. You can't function. Your eyes are all like dried out, whatever. So if you're having any of these symptoms at all, watch the Diving Cutter Wrestling Podcast. It'll cure it right away. We do advise and not listen to the podcast while driving or operating heavy machinery. And even if you're forklift certified,
like
still,
but he isn't.
Yeah, don't listen to the podcast during those conditions. So, anyways, guys, it's Mark Rodriguez signing off here.
Jack Nyes from Jack Nyes Reviews signing out.
This is Jupy Channel. Also, Ninja Jupy or Wendy. Why am I even here? But I'm gonna turn this over. over to the one, the only, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man who is the slim one here, Johnny
Johnny
Rodriguez,
Rodriguez.
representing.
Yep. And the last thing I want to say is that Jukes was there live, not for this event, but one of the AEW shows where she literally got to say, "You suck" to Moxley. And
Oh yeah, I did, and that was one of the best highlights of my entire life. That is so sad. I must have a very sad life.
See you next time, guys.